everybody, my name is Miss Fimble and I'm here with another drawing video. Today I'm going to show you how to do a horse, okay? So all you need to draw the horse is a piece of paper and something to draw with. That could be a pencil or whatever you've got around, okay? So before we get started, I need to note that your paper should be long ways like this. It should not be like this, long side to side, okay? Otherwise, you won't have enough space for the body. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to do with our horse is going to be its head, okay? So, well, first of all, before we get started, if we think about what a horse looks like, it is kind of a complicated picture, a complicated animal. Their bodies have a lot of different angles and details and all sorts of stuff, but we're not going to draw all of that stuff here today. Instead of doing a realistic horse, we're going to do kind of a simple, cartoony horse, okay? It's going to be kind of a silly horse. I think this way it's a little easier, and it's also a lot more fun for me, okay? So just remember, it's more simple, which means we're using easier and more simple shapes and lines for our horse. So that starts with the head. The head of our horse is going to be shaped like an oval, okay? So think about an oval. It's a long circle, and it's not just going to go up and down or side to side. It's going to go somewhere between in a way that's called diagonal, okay? So we're going to draw a diagonal oval on the board, and remember, it's our horse's head, so we don't want to make it too big, otherwise we won't have space for the body. I'd say that's pretty good. We've got our oval, and it is at a diagonal, okay? Like this. Yeah, like that. Okay, so now that we've got our head, the next thing we're going to do is our neck. And we're going to do the neck in two parts. First, we're going to do the line for the top of the neck. And then we're going to do the line for the bottom of the neck, okay? So the top of the neckline is going to be diagonal, just like this was, okay? It's going to be a straight diagonal line going just like that. And we are going to do our best to make it end at just about the same place as this, okay? Now, if you don't understand what I mean, let me show you. I'm holding this folder straight from side to side. I'm going to draw my neck, straight line. There we go. It ends right about on the same spot up and down as our head does, okay? So it should be about that long. If your neck is a little longer or a little shorter, that's okay. That's just what I like to do. So our next step is going to be the other line for our neck, okay? And that one's going to be below, just right down here, okay? It's pretty much at the halfway point of the oval, and it's going to be another diagonal line, but it's going to go the same way, the same angle as this guy, okay? So another diagonal line, but that one ended up being just a little bit longer, okay? And it went down a little further. So we've got our head and our neck. The next thing we got to do is our back, okay? So we're going to do the back. And remember, I said this is a kind of a silly horse. So our silly horse has a curved back, okay? Now, remember, if you think of a horse, they've got pretty long bodies. So our line has to be pretty long, okay? It's not going to be a straight line, like I said. It's going to be a little bit curved, okay? Like a little hill. So here we go. I'd say that's pretty good. But don't go all the way to the end of your paper because we have to have space for the tail. So this is good for me. Now I want to move on to my legs, okay? And I'm going to start with my front legs. So if you remember, a horse has 4 legs, and 2 are grouped in the back, 2 are grouped in the front. So we're going to do our front leg with one line going down. We're going to do a little curve at the bottom of the leg, and then we're going to go straight back up. And almost immediately after that, we're going to do our second leg, okay? So this line, just like the curve of the back, is going to be curvy. It's going to be curved. It won't be straight down because I think that looks kind of boring. We're going to go a little silly with it. So starting from the end of the neck, do a curved line going down. I'd say that's pretty good. And get pretty close to the end of your paper, but make sure there's a little bit of space underneath, okay? So we've got the first line of our leg. The next thing we got to do is we got to draw the line for the bottom of the leg, the hoof of the horse. This, I don't want to be just a straight line either. So I'm going to do a nice little curved line. It's not super, super curved, but it's just rounded, okay? Next thing we're going to do is the line for the rest of that front leg. We're going to try to make it go we're going to try to make it go along this line, the same as that line, just with a little space in between. But we're not going to go all the way up. We're going to go about this far, okay? So up, without a curve. And I'd say that looks pretty good. Now, if you do it and you don't like how it turns out the first time, it is totally okay just to erase your first attempt and try again. Okay? Because that's what artists do. We make mistakes all the time and then we just try again up until we get it. Okay? So, first leg down, 3 more to go. The next leg is right here. Almost no space in between. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to do kind of like a rainbow curve. Right there. It's a pretty dramatic curve. It really does look like how you do a rainbow. And that is separating our 2 front legs. So once we have that, we get to do our second leg. And we're going to try our best to draw the second leg just like we drew this one, okay? Now it's impossible to make them exactly the same. Nobody can do that. But try your best to make the angle and how curvy it is pretty much the same, or as close as you can. Okay, so just like before, we'll do a curvy line down. At the end, we're going to do a curvy bottom. And then we're going to go straight back up, but at a curve, not straight up. I misspoke. Alrighty, so these don't look exactly the same, but I think they look close enough. And I think it looks cute. So now that we've got our front legs, the next step is going to be the stomach, the belly. We've got to connect the front to the back of the horse. And the belly is going to be pretty similar to how we did the top of the horse, okay? So we're going to do another curved line for the belly. Alrighty. So I stopped there. I stopped here because I want to make sure that there's plenty of space for the 2 back legs and for the tail at the end. Alrighty. And so you can see that this line was also curved, but it was not as curved, okay? Next thing we gotta do is we gotta do the back 2 legs. All right, so I'm gonna do those a little differently. These ones curve this way, but these ones I want to curve inside. So it's kind of like parentheses, if you can think about that. So the front legs are like this kind of parenthesis, but the back legs are going to be like this kind. Okay? So let's get started. Just a curvy line down. 1, Okay, I'd say that's pretty good. And then, just like before, a curved line at the bottom for our hoof. Okay, that's a pretty good thickness. And then right back up. Perfect, or nothing's perfect. Very good. It's good enough. It does the job. So I made mine go a little higher than I wanted to, so I'm going to erase that. All right, now we just have one more leg to do, okay? So you've already at this point done 3 legs. I think you got this one. You know the drill by now. So we're going to do a curve to connect this one and the last leg. Then we're going to do a curvy line down. Stop right about where the other leg stopped. And then a curvy line up. And this time, that curvy line goes all the way up to the back of the horse. My line is a little messy. I'm gonna fix it up a little. Okay, I'd say that's pretty good. Now we gotta do the horse, of course. I said we gotta do the horse now. That's silly. We've been doing a horse. We have to do the tail. So the tail is gonna be lines. Oh, it's gonna be lines just shooting out. Okay? Or one line shooting out, and then I'll show you what to do next. So it shoots out, and then underneath it's gonna be a zigzag or a jagged line. And then from there, we're gonna go right back up. Okay? So I did 1, 2, 3. I did like a zigzag like that, but you could do as many zigzags as you want to. Just because I did it like this because it looks like there's hair at the end. Alrighty, we're doing good. We've got the basic shape for our horse. Now we're gonna go back to the head to add the details for the head. So details that I can think of for the head are the eyes, the nostril, and the mouth, and then of course the hair and ears. So there's actually kind of a lot of stuff to add for the head. But we're going to start with the ears. So we're going to do one ear directly on top of the oval. And all it's going to be is it's going to be kind of like a triangle with a rounded top. Okay? So think of it like that. A triangle. I guess it doesn't have that bottom line, but it's just like that. Okay? So now what we gotta do is we gotta do a second ear. And we're gonna do it right next to the first ear. Okay? We're gonna try to make it similar. Alrighty, so we've got my first and my second ear. Now, since this horse is looking at us from the side, we should see that one of the ears is in front and the other is in back. And the way for us to show that one of them is in the front is by erasing the line right between the ear and the head. So erase that if you can, and then voila, we got our ears. Next step is going to be, let's do the hair on the head. So it looks kind of like bangs. And how we're going to do it is starting from right at the beginning of the ear, we're just going to do a curved line going down. Okay? It didn't go too far down. Went just that far. So now from here to the end of the face, we're going to do jagged lines just like we did over here. Alrighty. That looks like a horse's hair to me. And next, what we can do is we can do the horse's eye. So remember, this is a horse looking at us from the side, so we can only see one of its eyes. We're going to put the eye, just a little dot, underneath where the hair is. Okay? Next, we got to do the nostril for the nose, so the opening of the nose. And that's going to look kind of like a comma or an apostrophe. It's just going to be a little line. It's right, I'm going to put it right here. So below the eye. Alrighty? And now we got to do the smile, the horse's smile. There we go. And remember, it's looking at us from the side, so we can only see one half of the smile, which is why it looks like that. Next thing we gotta do, we're almost done. We're gonna do the hair on the neck. The hair on the neck is gonna be jagged, just like it was over here and over there, but it's gonna go down the whole neck. Let me show you. There we go. There's our horse's hair. I can think of one more thing that our horse needs. It's the lines on the hooves. So, towards the bottom of your horse's leg, just put lines, just straight lines. And boom, there you go. Now, this last step is optional. I think it makes your horse look better, but if you don't have an eraser, it's okay. I'm just gonna erase the line between the head and the neck, right here. And there we go. I'd say that looks pretty good. And now that my horse is done, I could add silly things like a hat or a bow tie, or I could add like magical, majestic things like a unicorn horn or Pegasus wings. I could do whatever I wanted to with this. I could color it in if I wanted to. But that's up to you. So I hope you enjoyed this activity. I hope you also ended up with an awesome looking horse. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.